Hi, another day, another video entry for the video diary. An entry for the video diary. Yeah. So, topics of conversations for today, I think there are about 3 or 4. So, first one, I'd like to start with I'm calling the arm folding session whilst eating pizza. So, yesterday's session that I talked about for when we had the group catch up for everyone. Um, so today the people took pictures. People generally take pictures in congregations such as that nature, and we put on our internal messenger thing on Slack. So I was seeing the pictures. So there was one picture where Anish, Tom, and Max, they were all there. I was there too, and all of them had their hands folded, and they all particularly had their left hand. Well, it was like that. Yeah, left hand over their right hand. And I began reading up about it, and then that expresses very specifically that some of the studies say that if you have the way you fold your arms are indicative of which hemisphere of your brain is more active and predominant in your personality as such and the way you think as such. All of them were creatives, so coming from design backgrounds and fields, and all of them had their left hand over their right hand, whereas I usually stand with my right hand over my left hand. And reading that, I digressed and I read a little more about hemispherical divisions and how it manifests in certain physical. There are certain physical manifestations for indicating hemispherical tendencies and inclinations about which is more active. And then there was this illusion of this girl turning clockwise or anti-clockwise, and I could see for a long time it was turning clockwise, and if for people that saw the girl turning clockwise, it was indicative that they are more prone to using their right hemisphere of the brain, which is logic and rationality. I think that no, left hemisphere of the brain, which is logic and rationality, and right is which is creative and more artistic in nature. So I was surprisingly, I mean, it took me by surprise to realize that I'm more, if I take into consideration these physical manifestations and cues and things that people say that trail leads to which ends, I am surprisingly left hemisphere activated or oriented, which is logic, rationality, and structure and things of that nature, and less artistic. And this girl, if you keep staring at her for long enough, it changes orientation. If you think about how it could, and then it's a perspectival sense. I mean, there are theories about this. Some of the people say that some of them. Well, there's research done saying it's not indicative exactly of which hemisphere of your hemispherical activation or prevalence. It's more of the visual perspectival element that makes you think that the girl is rotating left or right. But yeah, I could see it in both ways. And then there was an interesting thought that I wanted to extend that and give it the benefit that it is in actuality indicative of whether you indicative of a hemispherical inclination. And I thought, what if I pull that out every time I was making a decision or talking or creating logic and expounding on certain things after the act has been committed? I thought it would be good to pull that image, that animation up, and see which way I, at that point in time, see the girl rotating. Is it right? Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? So that, I thought, could tie in very well with me attributing or ascribing in that moment which hemispherical tendency is making me speak such or argue such or say such. I thought that would be interesting. And when I'm, creating logic, doing some research, just think about getting my insights, developing an insight deck, and then seeing which hemisphere of my brain is more active. Am I trying to espouse a rational, logical path of logic, or am I tending toward an artistic way or creative way of seeing certain things? So that'd be a good sense check for me after every time upon committing the act, just to see and gaze at that animation, just to quickly surmise which part of my brain is more active and leading me to say such or act such. And the second one is I started rolling my own tobacco. So it's been like 3 days. Initially, I used to spend like 10 minutes. I mean, not 10 minutes, but the whole process end to end, it used to take me 10-15 minutes. Thought it would be quicker and easier. Firstly, rolling my own tobacco, not because of affordability, but because I feel like the smoke is much cleaner. And from a basic, quick cursory search on the internet, search results yield that it is, comparatively healthier, because possibly there are not as many toxins or tar and chemicals in rolling tobacco additives as there are in boxed cigarettes. So, and now it's day 3, and I'm rolling my cigarette much quicker than I did on day 1. So it's natural that when we keep doing a certain thing, that we gain a natural mastery over it, and we find we develop ways to do a thing better upon repeating. I think we should. If that's not happening, then there's an issue. And then the time's just flying. Even today, this whole week, it's already been 2 weeks since I've been back, and I like it when it's this busy. It's just going at a manic pace. I really like it, the pace at which things are going. Before I realize it's over, the day's over, the working day's over, and then come back and I'm sleeping for 6 hours too, and that's keeping me going. That's very surprising to me, because I've always been a person that needed at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I guess body's getting conditioned to the new working order, to the new order of businesses, and I feel like I'm filled with frenetic energy and Frisson, right? What is it? Frisson? I think it is Frisson. Frenetic and nervous energy. Frisson. Sudden strong feeling of excitement or fear. Okay. Something close. Yeah. So I'll keep these video diaries going. Signing off from Korova Milkbar. I'll see you tomorrow.